Good evening. I'm Tiffany Burson for the County Line, and tonight with me I have Dr. Andrew Aid and Dr. Scott McKenzie to talk about the Foundation Theater Camp. How are you, gentlemen?
And how are you?
Well, thank
Good.
you.
Okay, first off, Dr. McKenzie, what schools are the camp attendees from?
Well, the Foundation Theater Camp is a week-long camp that we do on every summer. We've been doing it about 5 years now for students from the high schools and junior highs in the local area. So we've actually had students from all around the county, even outside the county, well, county line. So Mercer and Lawrence counties. We've had them from Farrell, from Neshannock, from Mercer, from Sharpsville. So most of the schools in the surrounding area.
Okay. And what is your main objective for the camp?
We like to introduce students to some of the opportunities that are available for them in theater, some of the things that they can learn about being better actors, being better performers. We teach a little improvisation, teach a little devising of theater, creating theater, and then we also do scene work in the afternoons. We spend our morning on various kind of lessons and trainings and techniques. In the afternoons, we rehearse the various scenes and short plays that we produce by the end of the week.
What sort of things are expected of the students? What do you hope that they will achieve in the end?
Well, we hope that they'll be comfortable with who they are on stage, to get a little taste of what it's like to be on stage, to maybe catch that theater bug. Now, some of them come with us with a little more experience than others. Some it's their first time on stage. Some have been doing it for years. Mm-hmm. We have several campers that have come back for several years in a row. But we just want them to, find the joy in theater that we find.
And also, who do the students get to work with as far as adult?
Well, me. They're lucky they get to work with me. and they also, we have a former Westminster student who's a theater major, Colleen Cloutier, who has been our associate camp director for the last 3 years. And she'll be back again this summer. And then we also like to keep some of our current students involved. And for the last 2 years, a young lady named Kirsten Gassina has been our Westminster student instructor. And she's graduating this year, so we're not sure she's going to be back. So hopefully it'll be Kirsten, but we're also looking for another Westminster student who wants to get involved in the camp.
Okay. And in your opinion, what is the best part of the camp?
I think the seeing the kids light up at finding out what they can do in just a week. And they come in the beginning of the week, and some of them might know each other from the past, but a lot of times it's they've never met each other before, and the way they come together in a week and create sometimes two pieces of theater they're involved in. Sometimes they do a monologue and a scene, but learning what they can do in just 1 week, and the bonding that happens with them. So that's probably my favorite part of the camp.
Okay. And Dr. Aid, I understand that some of your Westminster students are actually produce scripts for the camp?
That's right. This was an idea that struck me and Scott. A few years after I got here, I realized we had this summer opportunity to do new work, because they're always looking for material that's suitable for those age groups. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, why don't we have the Westminster playwriting students who take the playwrights workshop? Why don't we have them write material? It's good practice for them. It's a good chance for them to get work that they produce in that class seen on stage, and then they can attend it if they're around in the summer. Mm-hmm. But it's a chance for the young actors to use material that would probably speak to them, because it's written by slightly older students who are from the same areas generally. So we thought we would try it 1 year, and it worked out really well. We had, I think, 11 pieces of that class performed, and it was a combination of monologues and scenes. So that was really the initial idea, was to see if we can get these two different projects working in tandem, because everyone would benefit from it.
What kind of scripts are normally selected for the final presentation?
Well, we're trying to have scripts that are very manageable, that are short enough to do without asking the students to memorize a lot in a very short amount of time. We also want stories that can reflect the lives of these students somehow, typical stories that come out of childhood or adolescence that deal with the tribulations, but also the fun side of life. because they're going to be played by students who are basically between 12 and 17. And so we didn't want it to be controversial. We wanted it to just be good acting exercises. And so I think when we finish all that we write in the workshop and we pass it on then to the team doing the foundation camp, they get to decide, without knowing the names of who wrote what, blind submissions, they get to decide which stories would be most suitable for those particular actors. And they cast them and take it from there.
Okay, and I know your classes write scripts for the camp, but can any Westminster students submit anything to be performed in the summer camps?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, it hasn't happened, but it's just because it hasn't occurred to us. If a student, and most of the kids that know about the camp know about it from the class, but if a student had a piece they wanted to submit, well, as a matter of fact, we have some students that took the workshop 2 years ago, those pieces that we did, that still might want to write a piece that we might do this year. So yeah, we'd take it from any Westminster student in a blind submission, sure.
Okay, so if there are any interested students or parents watching, how would they get in contact with you guys to be a part of the camp? Or how would any playwrights perhaps submit any materials?
Well, I can handle how do the students get involved, the high school students. The camp this year is from June 28th to July 2nd. It's a 5-day camp. And we start at 9 in the morning and run till about 3:30 in the afternoon until Friday when we do our final performance, which is usually at 6 or 7, depending on how we can work out the schedule. And if anybody's interested in participating, they can contact the Drinko Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning, and that's Mrs. Doreen Mattoon. And you can call her at 724-946-7121, and she can get out an application to be in the camp. The cost for the camp is $75, which covers not only your time in the camp, but also lunch while you're with us and a snack in the morning, so you can send your child to us and know they're going to be taken care of throughout the day.
Okay, and as far as the submitting scripts?
Anyone, if they would like to, could simply submit it to the Department of English or the Department of Theater and state, we would be very interested to see if the students who do this camp, with that age group of basically 12 to 17, if it would be of interest for them to perform it. And the guidelines would generally be that it not be terribly long, because they only have a few days really to learn it, but they have to do it memorized. And so we don't want it extraordinarily lengthy, but also to make it suitable for a family audience, something that could touch on serious things or comic things. And if they submitted it just directly to me in the English department, Andrew Aid, or to the Department of Theater, Communications Theater with Scott McKenzie, it would all end up in the same place. And we would take the name off and then put it in the group of possible material to look at and see what kind of reaction the leaders of the camp give it. And if it looks just right, then we would be able to take it.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time today, and I wish you well this summer. Hope everything turns out okay.
Thank you.
And that wraps it up for us. I'm Tiffany Burson for the County Line, and more is on the way. Okay, thank you guys.